Yo, what up, y'all? Feel me? MFP markets trading. I mean, yeah, bro, this is a trade that I took last week. You know what I mean? I lost on this trade about 40, 30 or 40 pips or so. You know what I mean? Yeah, the reason I'm putting this out is because I took a huge lesson here. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot from this trade, right? And then I'll show you exactly what I learned at the end of this video. But yeah, I learned a lot from this trade and it helped me to prevent future losses, right? That's one thing that I love to do when I lose is to see if I can figure out why I lost my trade, right? So yeah, I lost this trade. I learned a lot from this trade. I'm gonna show you what happened in this trade, then I'll explain the trade afterwards and the lesson that I learned. Right, so let's get into it. No, right. If you keep up with my videos, bro, then you know exactly how I trade, bro. You know all I'm looking for is key areas to frame a trade from, right? So right here, again, bro, all I do is look for key areas and spots of liquidity, right? So this right here is a higher time frame fair value gap. That's my purple box, right? All I'm looking for is price to come back into it, tap into it, displace through a low, right? And then from there, I'm looking for a sell. You know what I mean? So yeah, price is tapping into that higher time frame fair value gap. You know what I mean? And then from there, you know what I'm saying, I just want to see that displacement, and then I'll begin looking for my trade. All right, so that's the trade right here that I'm about to enter. Right, so let's see how that went. Now there goes the displacement that I was looking for. Right, as you see, price displaces to the downside through that swing low, leaves a fair value gap. That's where I'm looking into my trade at. Right, stop loss above a high, and then my TP at the previous day low. You know what I mean? And so that was the trade that I was looking at. Right now, theoretically, this trade should have went to that previous day low and did exactly what it was supposed to. Right, but there was one sign here that I should have noticed that I did not notice. Right, and now that sign is all of this momentum back upwards. Right, usually when price displaces through a low, that means it wants to continue. Right, but if price wants to continue, it's not going to show me all of this momentum back to the upside. You know what I mean? So that should have been the first sign that something was wrong. Right, usually what happens is price might take 2 or 3 candles to come back up, tap me into my entry, and then take off. You know what I mean? Or what it'll do is immediately take off, and then from there I'll just look to enter on a discount or a premium area. Right, but it doesn't do that here. Right, it displaces and then immediately comes back up. Right, which basically defeats the purpose of displacement. You know what I mean? So that should be my first sign that something was wrong, but I didn't take the sign. You know what I mean? So let's see what else price does from here. Now from here, price will end up going to stop loss. I don't think I have it on this clip, but price did end up going to stop loss. You know what I mean? Which is perfectly fine. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen all the time, but you know what I'm saying? There are clear signs when price is going to hit stop loss. You know what I mean? Again, which I should have noticed, and I'll explain why in the next clip. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that was my L, that was my L. I think last week for about 30 or 40 pips or so. You know what I mean? But let's get into the explanation of how I should have known that this price was going to lose. Right. So again, bro, like I said, all I do is start on the higher time frame so that I can frame a trade. Right. I'm looking for key areas. Right now on this example in specific, right, what happens is I'll end up having two key areas, right, but in opposite directions. Right, so that's gonna ruin the trade, right? So here I have a bear or yeah, a bearish fair value gap, right? The price is tapping into, and that's where I'm looking to enter my trade at. You know what I mean? I'm looking for price to come tap into there, and then drop down to a lower time frame and wait for price to displace down through there. right? But here's the problem, right? There's also a bullish fair value gap, right? That price taps into here. You know what I mean? So the problem is that I'm in between two different biases. You know what I mean? I'm in between a bearish bias and a bullish bias, right? So I was looking for my bearish bias. I was looking for my bearish bias on that sell, you know what I mean? But the problem is the price is sold a little bit, right? Tapped into that bullish fair value gap, and then from there went back to the upside. You know what I mean? So that's why I ended up losing that trade, right? But had I checked beforehand, was I in between two biases, right? Then I would have been able to catch that sell without any pushback, right, from the bullish fair value gap. You know what I mean? Or I could have caught the buy, or vice versa, whatever the case may be, right? But nonetheless, I should have been looking, right? So when it got caught in between two biases, right? But it's all good. Great lesson that I learned, you know what I mean, that I can implement later, right? So yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in, bro.